Hello again, YouTubers and Pokemon fans. Welcome to a little bit of a different video here on the channel. For the first time, we're going to show you a complete master set of a card set of Pokemon. And of course, will be the newest set, XY Evolutions. Slight disclaimer at the start here. Yesterday I had a bad cold. I feel great today, but I still might sound a little bit off. So if my voice sounds weird to you, it's not your speakers or your headset or anything. I just sound a little under the weather still, but I'm feeling good, feeling chipper. So let's do this thing here. I'm using the 4 2.0 by Deck Tutor. These are the only 4 pocket-wide binders I had. And since I consider it a complete master set to be a play set of everything, as you need 4 of every card for decks, that's what we're going with. So let's get into it here. And there you can see what I mean right away. 4 of every card. And you can see here the cards that are not hollow and stuff. Well, if I have a reverse version, I have 1 reverse in here and then 3 non-reverse. So either 3 hollow rares reverse or 3 common non-hollows in reverse, so on and so forth. So we're going to show you all the cards in the set and show you what they do. And if you're looking for any singles for XY Evolutions or Seal Proct, please visit our website, thepokecapital.com. We have singles and Seal Proct Evolutions in stock right now. So there you can see Venusaur EX, which is a reprint. Poison Powder for 60. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Jungle Hammer does 30 and heal 30 damage. Sorry, Jungle Hammer does 90 and heal 30 damage from this Pokemon. I'm not going to read every attack of every Pokemon. I'll focus on the rares and better. I want to do basically a set overview with this as well. Hopefully it doesn't have too long. You guys know how long the video is already. I don't, but we'll see how it goes. First time doing a video like this, so kind of weighing it. Let me know any input you guys have to make this video any better for the next time I do a video like this. Mega Venusaur EX, also a reprint, 230 hit points. Crisis Find is 120, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed and poisoned. And it gets the Spirit Link now in this set, so that makes the card more viable. Might see some play, we'll see. On PTCGO, I still gotta do my virtual case opening 216 packs of Evolutions on there, and then try to get some decks made utilizing these cards and see what we can come up with. Then we've got Caterpie. It's a Caterpie. Next page. This is the only double wide page, I think, that has no hollow rares or better. So this is the page that I fill in first. I put the hollows and stuff in first. So this page will go pretty quick here. Got Metapod, we got Weedle, we've got Kakuna, we got the Beedrill, the Tangela, and Charmander. And yes, I know there's gonna be some glare on here. I have the lights off. I have the umbrella lighting on as I back up here and show you. Got the umbrella lighting. Those lights are off, but we're still gonna get a little bit of glare. Still gonna get a little bit of glare. Doing the best we can here, but I don't think it's too bad. There's a prettier page. Look at all those Charizards. Yum. So, Charmeleon, and then of course Charizard, which has 150 HP and the ability Energy Burn. All energy attached to this Pokemon are fire energy instead of their usual type. And then Fire Spin does 200, discard 3 energy attached to this Pokemon. Charizard EX, reprint, 180 HP, wind attack for 60, and Combustion Blast for 150. Can't use Combustion Blast during your next turn. But if you get the Mega Charizard EX, that one has 220 HP and the 300 damage attack Crimson Dive. This Pokemon does 50 damage to itself. So if you don't want to damage yourself, you can use Crimson Dive once, and then you can use Combustion Blast, and then you can use Crimson Dive, and then you can use Combustion Blast, and you get the idea. So we have Vulpix and the evolved form Ninetales with Lure. Switch one of your opponent's benched Pokemon with his or her active Pokemon. The new active Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. It doesn't really specify the best wording-wise, but I believe you choose which bench comes out. It says switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, as in you do, so you can choose who comes out. If they got a Shaman on the bench you want to cause havoc on, you can drag out that Shaman and bust its face. And then Fire Blast is 120, discard all fire energy attached to this Pokemon. Then we've got the beautiful Ninetales BREAK. Can turn sideways here because we have the ability. 140 hit points, Explosive Fireball does 10 plus. Discard all fire energy attached to this Pokemon. This attack does 60 more damage for each energy card discarded in this way. You only need 2 energy on there to attack, So if you have 2 fire on there, you're doing 130. If you got Muscle Band or something like that, you're doing more damage, obviously. Not a bad card. Might see that get at least tested a little bit in decks. We got Growlithe, Arcanine with the ability Burning Road and the attack Scorching Breath. Ponyta, but no Rapidash. Magmar, more obviously no Magmortar, because that wasn't one of the original Pokemon. Then we got the Reprint Blastoise EX, 188 points, Rapid Spin for 30. Switch this Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon, then your opponent switches his or her active Pokemon with one of his or her benched Pokemon. So basically, you do 30 damage, and then it's like you played Warp Point, which, when was the last time Warp Point was printed? I feel like that card was in the format for competitive play for a long time, and now it's just not. And I can't think of when it was last used, but that was a pretty highly used card, usually at least a 1 or 2 of them most decks. But I digress. Splash Bomb, 120, flip a coin, if tails, 30 damage to itself. Turn the page, got a lot of shiny goodness on this page, all that water, so much water. We've got the Mega Blastoise EX, 220 hit points, Hydro Bombard does 120, and this attack does 30 damage to 2 of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So in total, it does 180 damage for 3 energy. Not too shabby at all for that damage output for the resources it takes. Now we've got the Reverse Poliwag and non-reverse, Reverse Poliwhirl and non-reverse. We've got the Poliwrath with Dashing Punch. Does 50 plus. If this Pokemon was on your bench and became your active Pokemon this turn, this attack does 50 more damage. Now if you had a Pokemon knocked out and they promote Poliwrath, as that happens between turns, I don't believe you get that damage bonus. You would have to, during your turn, either retreat or play a switch card or something along those lines, and then use Dashing Punch to do the 100 for just 1 energy. And then Whirlpool does 80, and discard an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. And pre-release, the Poliwhirl did a lot of stuff too, namely with Amnesia there. Does only 30, but you choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon attacks, and that Pokemon can't use that attack to your opponent's next turn. And a lot of Pokemon, like the Poliwag for instance, only have 1 attack. So if you use Amnesia, you might just make it so they just simply can't attack unless they retreat. So, moving on. Slowpoke and Mega Slowbro EX. Sorry, Slowbro EX and Mega Slowbro EX. So let's see. So Slack Off. Heal 60 damage from this Pokemon. This Pokemon can't attack during your next turn. Slight possible spoiler for the anime. I'm a few episodes behind. I just saw the match between Ash and, oh my gosh, what's his name? The heavy analyzing guy who idolizes Ash. He was using a Slacken, and he used Slack Off a few times in that battle. Not giving away too much there, just to say that I saw Slack Off used in the anime. Just last night I watched the episode actually. And then Flash Splash, 100 for 3 energy. Then Mega Slowbro EX, 220 HP. Lol Roll Spin. I guess? It should be like Raffle. Roll on the floor laughing, roll spin or something, I don't know. LOLL, is that an actual word? I don't know. But as 100 plus, this Pokemon is now confused. During your next turn, this Pokemon's LOL Roll Spin attack does 100 more damage. But you'd have to flip to see if it works. So it does 100. The next turn will do 200 if you get heads when attacking. Otherwise, you could do, I think it's 30 to yourself? I think it's 30. I have to get back into competitive play, obviously, because I don't know what I'm talking about well enough. We got Seal. We've got Dewgong, which is a rare Super Deep Dive. Heal 40 damage from this Pokemon. Switch this Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon. And then Takedown does 90 and 20 to itself. We got the Star U. We got the Star Me. Star Me might see play in some select decks thanks to its ability, Space Beacon. Once during your turn before your attack, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, put 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile into your hand. You can't choose a card, you discard it with the effect of this ability. And then Star Freeze does 30. Flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. That should be showing the shiny parts there, but my apologies. Starmie Break. Turn sideways again here. Let's see. Oh, got the viewfinder all weird, so I'm confused myself. Break Star. This attack does 100 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon Break. So if they're not using any break, it doesn't do anything. If they're using a bunch of breaks and they're all in the field, well then holy cow, you're doing a lot of damage for just 1 energy. Then we've got the Magikarp with Flail, which evolves with a much more powerful Gyarados with 130 HP. Bubble Beam does 50. Flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Dragon Rage does 180 for 4 energy. Oh, but wait. You have to flip 2 coins, and if either of them is tails, this attack does nothing. So 3 times out of 4, Dragon Rage does 0. 1 times out of 4, when you get 2 heads on 2 coin flips, you do 180. Not too fantastic. Then we've got the Pikachu. We've got the Raichu with Energize, which attach an energy card for your discard pile to this Pokemon. Spark Bolt does 70 plus. You may discard all energy attached to this Pokemon. If you do, the attack does 70 more. 40 if you discard at least 3 energy. Not too good, not too good. Got the Magnemite. We got the Magneton. Oop, too far. Thunder Wave does 30. Flip a coin if heads. Active is paralyzed. Self-destruct is 80. And it does 80 to itself, which would not get out unless you got anything in play that's increasing its HP in any way or reducing the damage it takes from itself, as there are some tools and stuff that have such abilities. We got Voltorb with Continuous Tumble. Flip a coin until you get tails. 10 damage times over heads. Had a few cards like that. I think it did more damage per heads, but it's still around, Alright, Electrode is a rare. Another card that could see some play, maybe. The ability Bazap Thunder. Once during your turn before your attack, you may knock out this Pokemon and attach it to one of your electric Pokemon as a special energy card. This card provides 2 electric energy only while this card is attached to an electric Pokemon. Then Head Bolt does 70 damage straight up. So, if it was a basic, it's much more likely to see play, but as a stage 1, it's harder to splash even in electric-based deck, but still might be seen as a 1-1 or 2-2 line at most in some decks. Give up an early prize, you can use cards like Teammates right away. It's versatile, it can do things, it can be beneficial, but it has to be in the right situation, the right scenario. Scenario? Whichever you prefer. Got Electabuzz, which I think was a rare in base set. Thundershock, 10, if heads, paralyzed. Thunder Punch, 30, if heads, 10 more, if tails, 10 to itself. Zapdos, 110 HP. Thunder does 90 and 30 to itself. Thunderbolt does 170, but discard all energy attached to this Pokemon. Ouch. Got Nidoran Male. Nidorino with Horn Attack and Fury Attack. Nidoking with Rumble and Tail Swing. Rumble does 40. The defending Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. And Tail Swing, which wreaks some havoc at pre-release. 100 damage for 3 energy. And this attack does 20 damage to each of your opponent's bench basic Pokemon. A lot of people are misreading that, me included initially, as it only works on basic Pokemon. Usually attacks like that, it says it does damage to all of your opponent's Pokemon or all benched Pokemon in play, including your own. I'm not sure if there's been a card that specified it did damage only to basic Pokemon, but this one does. So just be aware of that if you want to try to play that card. Then we've got Nidoking Break with Toxic Drill, 180 HP. The attack does 120. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Put 2 damage counters instead of 1 on that Pokemon between turns. We've got the Ghastly. We've got the Hunter. We've got Drowsy but no Hypno. Coughing but no Wheezing. The non-hollow rare Mewtwo. And reverse hollow. Psychic does 20 plus 20 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Could be a nice little throw-in against Mewtwo EX decks. And then Barrier. During your opponent's next turn, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon. If one of your Pokemon use Barrier during your last turn, this attack can't be used. So if you bench Mewtwo, you still can't use Barrier on back-to-back turns, as it says if any of your Pokemon use Barrier. So keep that in mind, you can't just Barrier the whole game and have nothing ever happen to you. Got Mewtwo EX, 180 HP, and 3 attacks. I don't know how I didn't remember those other Pokemon that have 3 attacks. Thank you guys for helping me out in the comments in the 1080 pack opening. Zygarde EX had 3 attacks, Lucario EX had 3 attacks, and the Salamence in Roaring Skies, the Hollow Rare I think it was, had 3 attacks. I think that was all of them, at least in the XY era that had 3 attacks. So this is at least the 4th different card in the XY era with 3 attacks. Energy Absorption. Attach an energy card from your discard pile to this Pokemon. Regeneration. Heals 60 damage from this Pokemon. Cyburn, 110. The beautiful, beautiful Mew on the rock. I still haven't seen any comments answering. Is there a Lily Pad Mew, or is this the Lily Pad Mew? Or is it a different card? I don't know. Neutral Shield ability. Prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's evolution Pokemon. And Psybolt does 30 and a chance to paralyze. Now, it's not the same, but it reminds me of Mr. Mime from Jungle. The ability, Poke Power that Mr. Mime had. Any attacks doing more than 20 damage to it did nothing. So in a way, it's kind of like Safeguard, only the opposite, if that makes sense. Safeguard ability, the Pokemon that have that, EXs can't hurt them. Neutral Shield, evolved Pokemon can't hurt it. So in a game where EXs are pretty prevalent, I don't see Mew doing a whole lot. Maybe in select decks, it'll be like a one-of tech card for matchups where they use a lot of evolution Pokemon, but it's an interesting card, but I don't think it's versatile enough to see a lot of play. Like I said, maybe a tech card of some sort. We got Sandshoe, no Sandslash. We got the Diglett. We've got the Doug Trio with Slash and Earthquake for 130 and 20 damage to each of your benched Pokemon. We've got Machop with Dual Chop. We've got Machoke with Karate Chop. We've got Machamp with Seismic Toss for 120 and the ability Counterattack. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon and is damaged by an opponent's attack, even if knocked out, put 3 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. Machamp Break. Let's see if we can avoid the glare there. 190 HP. Boomerang Lariat. 100 damage. During your next turn, this Pokemon's attacks do 100 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So not too shabby. After the first swing, you're doing 200 a pop with that attack with Machamp Break. And if you're expanded, you can use cards oh my gosh, what's the special energy fighting? I'm blanking on the name. Strong Energy, I think it is. Can use that and other fighting power-up moves as well to do even more damage. So, powerful card. Maybe we'll see some play. The fact that an expand, well, no, it's Primal Clash that's in. Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick. You can get Machamp out as a basic from the discard pile, basically, making Machamp Break kind of like a stage 1. So, maybe you can see Machamp Break in some decks. Maybe. Maybe not. Time will tell. Another deck I can try building on PTCGO at some point here. We've got Onix. One of my favorite nostalgic ones here. Hitmonchan. Used that in my original deck back in the day when it had 60 HP and Jab did 20 and Special Punch did 40, and it was a good card. Now it's got 90 HP, does 30 for 1 with Jab, and 90 for 3 with Special Punch, but still in today's format, not all that powerful. Granted, if you are able to use Strong Energy and Expanded, then Jab can do 50 for 1 energy, not too shabby. But in Standard especially, don't see it hitting the field really, but still a nice throwback to base set. I love it. Got Clefairy, the only fairy type in this set. It was colorless in base because fairy was not yet a thing. Has Sin, if heads, opponent is asleep. Metronome, choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack. On to the colorless Pokemon. Pidgeot EX with Mirror Move. If this Pokemon was damaged by an attack during your opponent's last turn, this attack does the same amount of damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Other Lance does 80, this attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Mega Pidgeot EX. 220 HP. Mach Cyclone does 130. You may have your opponent switch his or her active Pokemon with one of his or her benched Pokemon. In that case, your opponent decides what Pokemon becomes active. Rattata, I will point out here, it isn't common, but it is serviceable with that ability, Mischievous Feign. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may discard all Pokemon tool cards attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. In Standard right now, there isn't really viable ways to remove tools from your opponent's side, so Mischievous Feign, a nice, easy way to do that, but again, it only works on your opponent's active Pokemon. So your opponent has a Garbodor on the bench with a tool on it. Unless you Lysander it out first or something like that, Rattata is not going to help you in that situation. Then he evolves another serviceable Pokemon, Eradicate, just a 60 hit point body, but Crunch for 10, discard an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Shadowy Bite does 60 times the amount of special energy cards in your opponent's discard pile. Could very easily do 120, 180, or 240 or more for 1 energy. And there is Eradicate Break, which was in, I forget what set, Breakpoint, I want to say? I could be wrong. Which would obviously increase its hit points and such, and make it a little bit more serviceable as well. So hey, maybe that Eradicate will see some play. And the Rattata as well. Farfetch'd. Leak Slap is 50. Can't use Leak Slap next turn. A 50 for 1 on a basic. Not too bad for a non-EX especially. Doduo, but no Dodrio. And then, am I skipping a page here? No, I'm not. We've got Chauncey, 120. Has Scrunch and Double Edge. Scrunch, flip a coin of heads, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks during your opponent's next turn. And Double Edge does 80, and this Pokemon does 80 damage to itself. And fun fact, if I remember correctly, this card is nearly not at all changed from base set. Most of the cards got a bump in HP, or a stronger attack, or better like effect of attack, etc. But Chansey might be exactly how it was. Actually, I take that back. Its retreat cost then went from 1 to 3. So it may have actually gotten worse from base set. Possibly the only card here in Evolutions that's a reprint basically from base set that got worse. So, kind of sorry, Chansey. Got Porygon with conversion 3, Dragonite EX, arguably the most desired card in the set for competitive play, thanks to the ability Pull Up. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may put 2 basic Pokemon, except for Dragonite EX, from your discard pile into your hand. That means you can get some Shaman's back, or whatever EX or basic Pokemon you may want. Doesn't have to be EX, any basic Pokemon. So definitely can help you get out of a jam if you had some Pokemon that were prized perhaps, or you just had a bad start, whatever the case may be. Definitely a versatile card that's splashable in just about any deck, as at least a 1 or 2 of. So definitely one of the most desired cards, as it can go in the most variety of decks as well. Then Hyper Beam, 130, discard an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon, but it's desired for the ability. Then on to the trainers. Blastoise Spirit Link. Hopefully you guys know what Spirit Links do at this point. Brock's Grit Supporter. Shuffle 6 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. Basically a more powerful version of Super Rod, which is why it is a supporter card. So yeah, Charizard Spirit Link for the first time. Devolution Spray. Devolve one of your evolved Pokemon and put the highest stage evolution card on it into your hand. Energy Retrieval. Put 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile into your hand. Full Heal. Remove all special conditions from your active Pokemon. Maintenance. Shuffle 2 cards from your hand into your deck. If you can't shuffle 2 cards in your deck, you can't play this card, and then draw a card. Misty's Determination. Discard a card from your hand. If you do, look at the top 8 cards of your deck and put one of them into your hand. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck. Pidgeot Spirit Link. Pokédex. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck and put them back in any order. Potion. Heal 30 from one of your Pokemon. Professor Oak's Hint Supporter card. Draw cards until you have 7 cards in your hand. Your turn ends. Revive. Put a basic Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench. Slowbro Spirit Link. Super Potion. Heal 60 from one of your Pokemon. If you do, discard an energy attached to that Pokemon. Got a switch, which I'm sure you all know what it does. Venusaur Spirit Link. Double colorless energy. And then basic energy. Also pretty, with one of the reverses in there for each as well. And then even more energy. And then the most beautiful double page of the binder. Oh, look at that majestic, shiny glory right there, folks. Just take that all in. Take that all in. Now, I don't really have to show these. I don't have to read all the text on these because I already saw them in non-full art versions. But you guys have to obviously just take a look at that beauty. Take that all in. Give you a closer look here as well. There's the Mega Venusaur, the Mega Charizard, the Mega Blastoise, the Mewtwo, the Pidgeot, and the Mega Pidgeot. They're not quite as beautiful, but still fairly beautiful. We got some secret rares with some more full arts, the Dragonite and the trainers. So you got the Dragonite with the pull-up that we just saw, and the supporters we just saw as well, Brock's Grit and Misty's Determination. When are they going to make a trainer card that features Ash Ketchum of Pallet Town? Come on now. We got Bilingual Executor for the Secret Rare, Flying Pikachu, Surfing Pikachu. These cards aren't really going to see competitive play, so I can go over their abilities. Imikuri's Doduo, which can't be used in competitive play, period. And here comes Team Rocket supporter card. Each player turns all of his or her prize cards face up. Those prize cards remain face up for the rest of the game. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what I consider a complete master playset of XY Evolutions. If you enjoyed and you aren't already, please subscribe. Definitely rock smash that like button. Visit our website, thepokecapital.com, where you can get evolution singles and seal product of your very own, and much more other Pokemon stuff as well, but especially evolutions. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time for some more Pokemon goodness. Now, if you haven't already, if you want to see all these cards open from packs, check out our 1080 pack opening of Evolutions, which also had a recap where you saw a lot of these, just not in the detail we did here. Those should be in the iCard up there at some point in the video. So again, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time for some more Pokemon goodness!